But first, a tech consulting merger that's bringing investment and jobs to our region. TiER1 Performance Solutions, a custom learning and change management consulting company, has acquired Motion Plan Incorporated, a custom training development company located just outside of Pittsburgh. The deal gives Kentucky-based TiER1 its second full-service office, which will help to support its growth. TiER1 has made the Inc. 5000 fastest-growing companies list 4 years in a row. Kevin Moore is Chief Learning Officer for TiER1, and Tony Joseph heads Business Development for Motion Plan right here in our region. Welcome. Good to see both of you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, so I described a little bit about what you guys do, but maybe you can put it more in layman's terms. What business are you all in?
Sure. We're in human performance, actually. So corporations and government entities usually hire us when they need to improve the performance of their people. A lot of new hires, a lot of individuals who are going through some type of change. Typically there's a requirement to say we're going to do things a little bit differently, and that's what TiER1 does, is we try to figure out the best way to get individuals to improve their performance.
Okay, Motion Plan in the same sort of space?
Identical space.
Okay.
Yeah, we've worked with a lot of companies here locally just to be able to understand some of their business requirements and business needs and their employee performance goals, and kind of marry that together with training for the learners.
How long have the companies been around?
Actually, both companies have been around since 2002.
Okay.
So Motion Plan started here in Pittsburgh, and TiER1 was started in Covington, Kentucky.
Fascinating. So how did you come together? What led to this merger?
Well, it's a relatively small world, and earlier we tried to, as TiER1, we wanted to actually expand our presence. So we looked at markets that had tremendous potential, and some of those markets are, Pittsburgh, Indianapolis, Lexington, Louisville, Chicago. And then we put out some feelers to our network. Turns out that a couple of TiER1 folks had worked with some folks from Motion Plan.
Okay. So there was some experience there, yeah.
Oh yeah, and similar cultures. We grew doing about the same things. So we put out some feelers, and the beauty is that both companies really wanted to get together to do some bigger and better things.
And yeah, I mean, that phone rings and they want to talk merger. I mean, it can be a mixed bag, you lose control, the cultures are different or whatever else. Did this make sense from the very beginning?
Yeah, it did. I mean, we talked about everything under the sun in terms of trying to figure out what would be a good fit, but as the conversations continued, it was really one of those things where you're almost kind of looking at yourself in the mirror saying, wow, this is another organization in another city with a lot of same values and cultures and client bases, and just being a relationship-based organization here in the city and having values based on that, it was refreshing to kind of look at and see. And then as we started talking more and more, we were like, well, this is pretty good. Let's keep having this conversation. So
you put Pittsburgh in a pretty impressive list there of high potential markets. Why are you bullish around the opportunity here?
A couple of different reasons. When we looked at Pittsburgh and Motion Plan, it was the quality of the relationships that the folks that Motion Plan had. And TiER1, like Tony had mentioned, is significantly driven by the relationships that we have within organizations. And you look at the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, we do a lot of work in healthcare. You look at retail operations with Dick's Sporting Goods and large places like, give me one of your other clients.
No, Dick's Sporting Goods.
Well, Dick's, and so we do Macy's and Kroger as large retail environments. And then the quality of their individuals to help on our research side. We actually have a research component that allows us to do work with NASA and the National Science Foundation and a spectacular organization called the Air Force Research Lab out of Mesa, Arizona. So all that really cool stuff and that we're able to do, but how then do we apply it? And that application in the market areas are fantastic. So, and you also have these unbelievable universities here.
So given, your client base there, as you want to get into, Pittsburgh does have has a total porthoportfolio, it sounds like.
Very much so,
yeah.
Very much so. And it was interesting that we actually saw a expose in a Delta magazine a couple of months ago. Right after we had made the announcement, and it detailed Pittsburgh in just an amazing light, and it was great because that's nothing but opportunity for us.
That's great. Well, okay, so we've heard what's in it for TiER1. What's in this for Motion Plan? Is it going to be good for you, good for our region?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we're probably about 90 days in, and everything's been going smooth. We have an opportunity to bring an additional set of service offerings to our clients that we didn't have before. It was an additional opportunity for all of our employees to grow within a larger organization, and as part of the management staff in Pittsburgh, to be part of a larger management organization of a bigger company. So, all of those have been, bonuses for everybody kind of going through the process.
So you really see some upside here in terms of growth, in terms of hiring?
Absolutely. I would fully expect that by the end of the calendar year, we might actually hire 6, maybe 8 folks here. And then to grow and expand this presence, 10, 12 next year. We're already swamped. We've got tremendous amounts of business, and then as we actually begin to blend our client base from the national to Pittsburgh, we can leverage some great processes that Motion Plan always had in place.
Oh, really exciting. Good to hear. Kevin Moore from TiER1, Tony Joseph from now TiER1 Motion Plan. Terrific, and welcome to Pittsburgh.
Well, thank you. Thank you.